number system. Remember the last time I showed you the number templates, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 1. And we actually brought out the notes that can be sharpened and flattened. Now let's look at a major triad. Our major triad is made up of the 1, the 3rd, and the 5th. The major triad is the foundation of chords. The 1, the 3rd, and the 5th. From this major triad, you can derive other chords. For example, if you flatten the 3rd, it becomes what? A minor triad. So a minor triad is simply 1, flat 3, and a 5. If you remember this, 3 is not in the sharp, but 3 is in the flat. So we have flat 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. So to change a major triad to a minor, simply flatten the 3rd. It's as simple as that. Let's see which other chord can we come up with from a major triad using this sharp and flat. Now if you flatten the 3rd and you flatten the 5th, you have what's called a diminished. If you flatten the 3rd and you flatten the 5th, you have what's called a diminished chord. If you remove the 5 and you are left with the 1 and the 3, you have what is called a diaton. If you have the 1 and you flatten the 5 and you remove this 3, so if you have the 1 and the flattened 5, you have what is called a triton. Just take your 1, remove the 3rd, and flatten the 5. We have what is called a triton. So this is how you derive other chords from just a major triad. We will still be looking at other chords like the augmented 5th, 7th, the dominant, the major 7th, the minor major 7th. But right now we are dealing with the major triad and how we can extract other chords from it. So we've spoken about the minor, the diminished, the diaton, and the triton, just from the major triad. So I need you to write all these things down. These are the very foundational tools you need to start mastering your number system. Now, I believe you have already mastered your major scale in every single key, or in almost every single key, using the template that I gave you, using the roots, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, to form your major scale in every single key. In every major scale, which is 1 to 7. Remember, I did not mention 8 because 8 is the same thing as a 1. It is divided into 3 sections: the major, the minor, and the diminished. The 1, the 4, and the 5, they are the major. In every major scale, in any key, whether B major, E major, A flat, any key, once you have formed your major scale, which is the same thing as your tonic solfa, the 1, the 4, and the 5, those are the major. The 2, the 3, and the 6 are the minor. The 7 is the diminished. Let me explain this diminished once again. If you have a major triad, 1, 3, and a 5, if you flatten the 3rd and you flatten the 5th, it becomes a diminished. Just like you can see here, all chords are within the range of 1 and 7. every chord is within the range of 1 and the 7. The only thing that can change their characteristics is what's the sharp and flat. For example, you can sharpen the 1, but you see a 1 is now sharp 1. You can flatten the 7, but you see a 7 is called the flattened 7. Okay, so you have to understand that any chord that you're going to come across is within the range of 1 and the 7. Even if you say something like 11, 13, the 9th, always remember the 9 is the same thing as the 2, the 11 is the same thing as the 4, and the 13 is the same thing as the 6. So any chord you are going to form or you're going to come across is always between the range of 1 and the 7. What changes their characteristics is the sharp and flat. In fact, let me say this: the sharp and flat are the most important tool you need in building a chord vocab. There are other technical concepts that you need in building, but the most important one is the sharp and the flat. Look at the diminished. We flattened the third and we flattened the fifth, and it gave us diminished. So the 1, 4, 5 is major, 2, 3, 6 they are minor, the 7 is always a diminished. So I believe you've learned 1 or 2 things from this lesson. Please feel free to comment below, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.